elephant appetite for borrowing. Your government had an elephant appetite for borrowing. At every time you wanted to borrow and you borrowed, you undertook fiscal infrastructure. You said you were building Agenda 111 hospital, 88. At least if 2 or 3 of it was functional, it will make meaningful contribution to maternal health, improve healthcare delivery in Ghana. Your overambitious initiative, you got none completed. You are more interested in winning votes at the December election than caring for the lives of Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, President Mahama will soon launch the Mahama Cares, where some money will be dedicated and seed money provided to the Mahama Care, which will deal with diseases that are not catered for under the National Health Insurance Fund.
Ghana for na Obama memory. If you like, you comment and subscribe, mommy. Me dance. Na Haruna Iddrisu to NPP MPs. You supported Ken Ofori-Atta to mess the economy up. You say Ken Ofori-Atta NPP time on nice or no na or ye Finance Minister until the later part ye be SSM. Nana NPP 4 MPs na bebrina na na jijina musa yesesa no wache woso na ese yesi nyansa eni baako fo etrim nti yesesa na kire se ye de obi fufuro aba no so ya try no ahwe na ye bekwa kotie Honorable Haruna Iddrisu oye member of parliament ye bekwa kotie no.
You wanted fiscal prudence, you brought in a Fiscal Responsibility Act with Ken Ofori-Atta as your minister. When we said censure him, you said no. Now that you have lost, you want to blame him for everything. You supported him to mess the country up, mess the economy up, and mess your administration up. So walk in regret and live in regret. When we said that he should be called to order, you overborrowed. And Mr. Speaker, again, let this parliament work for the people of Ghana. Ghana needs to have a ceiling on how much we can borrow. It cannot be at every time as it pleases a finance minister. He walks here, Parliament fails in its responsibility, grants him between 2017 and 2021 before COVID, $3.5 billion. Yet the previous NDC administration did just $1 billion. So again, elephant appetite for borrowing. Your government had an elephant appetite for borrowing. At every time you wanted to borrow and you borrowed, you undertook fiscal infrastructure. You said you were building Agenda 111 hospital, 88. At least if 2 or 3 of it was functional, it will make meaningful contribution to maternal health, improve healthcare delivery in Ghana. Your overambitious initiative, you got none completed. You are more interested in winning votes at the December election than caring for the lives of Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, President Mahama will soon launch the Mahama Cares, where some money will be dedicated and seed money provided to the Mahama Care, which will deal with diseases that are not catered for under the National Health Insurance Fund. Mr. Speaker, then to IMF. You said you won't go to IMF. You finally held a calabash begging the IMF. Yet you were here that no. You must govern with some sincerity. Today we are back to IMF. This is the 17th IMF program of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, we will have to resolve as a country have to deal with it. Mr. Speaker, the President Mahama also promised 24-hour economy. And let me assure members of this House that it is not going to be driven largely by the public sector. It will be a private sector driven initiative of President Mahama. And Mr. Speaker, sooner than later, the Minister for Finance and Attorney General will be in this House to amend the Ghana Investment Promotion Act, the GIPC Act, to provide for adequate strategic incentives to any investor who wants to invest in a 24-hour economy. We need to expand the manufacturing sector of this country. Investors such as Japon Textiles, Akusumbo Textiles, and Palugu Tomato Factory. Any investor who can bring in money and run it for 24-hour economy, President Mahama in this parliament will support him to do that, so that it will generate employment and also contribute to the GDP growth. What this parliament, Mr. Speaker, must insist in future. You came with one district, one factory. You are reminded. Do you have one in Wale Wale? Is your watermelon factory functioning well? Ask whether the Nsawam factory is working. But Mr. Speaker, The important thing is that in granting tax exemption and incentives to the private sector, we must ask 3 questions as Parliament. 1, how much are you contributing to employment? 2, what is your contribution to GDP? Before we make those generous grants to them. But Mr. Speaker, if you take from Kumasi, Ashanti up to Wale Wale, you will not find any factory that employs 1,000 or 2,000 people. So for instance, the people in the Brown region, poultry, government will want to invest in poultry farming. That is their advantage. We should support them to do that. Cashew, we should support them to do that.
Ofori-Atta no na ebinum say oye na nadu nia se ne kazi se ne de enti no on pese obeyi no ai na ebinum say well say obi no ode ne nsabenkum ebe kire ne fie kwan na say yes na nadu na mu na oye no family and friends enko a na administration in the family and friends enti nia ekoso ewo mawo nti se si ade abanfo frawa be yen so ye hwe how almost economy no omo be ye no se Ghana ha no se ne obey economy no ene gina se ne amanfo ebeto ama enti whether reset or second independent ye nyina ye wo mawem ye twen ni nyina empa ye gba ne se bibia bekoye ema na dollar ne de ye bo mpa ye se mode dollar ne beba fema ma se no bia ebetimi aye business yo medamase oba memory like comment na efa esan subscribe man.